What's up, kid folk? Let's try that again. No, I'm not editing it out because sometimes I just do it. Let's talk about Oklahoma versus Missouri. Let's get into, is Bo Pribula going to play? What does OU have to do offensively as well as defensively to make this into a ho-hum ball game? And is that even on the table with an opponent like Missouri, who is just good enough to make you worry? If it feels like a trap game for an Oklahoma team that is playing for its college football playoff future, that's because it is. Now, what's up, kid folk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond, thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. If you're into that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like this video and answer the question in the comments below. What's the score of this game? Number 11, Oklahoma versus Missouri. Two SEC opponents left for the Sooners, Missouri, LSU. I've been looking past Missouri because I get to do that. I don't have to play against Missouri. Plus, I know Missouri ain't had Bo Pribula at quarterback, and Max Zeller doesn't really strike the fear of God into a person like me with Brent Venables' defense. I've seen what Brent Venables' defense can do against Ty Simpson. I don't know why it would have a hard time with Max Zeller. Now, ahead of this game, Eli Drinkwitz was really already prepared for what he knows is going to be a question about Bo Pribula and his availability. And I'm going to read the quote because I think it's all very important, because through 8 games, Pribula was really good. 69.6% completion percentage for 1,685 yards, 11 TDs, 7 INTs, also rushed for 220 yards. And they were 6-1 with their only loss being to Bama before his injury. And they have since fallen out of the top 25 and gotten beat. So what did Eli Drinkwitz have to say? He said, I know there were some questions about Bo Pribula. Drinkwitz said, yes, Bo Pribula is currently working through his rehab with the oversight of doctors and training staff. We are going through protocol. He has been allowed to practice with certain limitations, which is why he appeared on the SEC availability report last week. And it's why you saw him on Saturday in pregame warmups. We will see how he progresses this week, and you will be updated on the SEC media report. Then he added, I think we'll probably huddle as a group and make the call about whether or not he's going to play. The very first thing and the most important thing is making sure the student athlete's health and well-being is secure. Playing against an elite defense, you don't want to put somebody out there who can't compete at the highest level. In knowing how aggressive Oklahoma's defense is, it would be to the betterment of our team and Bo to not put him out there if he's not able to play to his level. We'll circle him first and circle with him first and make sure his mental process is where it needs to be. And that if he clears the protocol with several doctors and trainers, they'll go with that. Matt Zollers has been, the starter back-to-back games. QB3 is Sam Horn. Those guys have been ho-hum. Missouri is 7-3. So that's off the rip. What else do we know about this team? Well, quite a bit, actually, as Missouri was ranked number 23 going into last weekend. And then you get to see the defense actually showed up to be who it is. Now, Missouri won this game last year, and it was its first win in Norman. If they win this weekend, it would be their first win in Norman since 1966. Missouri beat Oklahoma 30-23 last season in Columbia, and Missouri has won 2 of the last 3 meetings. It's really turned into something like a rivalry because Missouri fans really don't like Oklahoma, and Oklahoma fans really don't like Missouri. It's a case of one team knowing that they're better and another team thinking that the other has its nose too high up in the air. I'm like, show me Missouri's national championships, and then you can have this conversation, right? Until then, there are levels to this, and you should go listen to the Meek Mill song if you need more of a lesson on that. But yeah, Missouri has been pretty damn good in the Eli Drinkwitz era, but they're 1-2 without Bo Pribula, and if he plays, that really changes things. But a dislocated ankle is still a dislocated ankle. And they lost 3 of the last 5 games after starting 5-0. Again, 1 loss to a ranked opponent that was Bama. 0-3 against ranked opponents this season. That's a big one. Oklahoma being ranked probably in the top 10 for some, no worse than number 11, I think for many, is going to move the needle. 0 wins over teams with winning records this season. Like, so that's also big. Like, their best wins, Mississippi State and Kansas. The offense has been not great. 24.6 points per game over the last 5 games. They were averaging better than 42 through their first 5. They've also been really good when they've been able to run the football. Against Mississippi State, they had 326 rush yards and 49 points. And their rushing offense is the straw stirring the drink, even with Bo Pribula because of the ability with his legs. With Ahmad Hardy and Jamal Roberts, they've been lethal, man. Ahmad Hardy is one of the best tailbacks in the country. He ain't going to win the Doug Walker Award because too many people know Jeremiah Love's name, but that dude has been a monster. He had 300 yards rushing and 3 TDs in that win against Mississippi State last week. It was outstanding. Second most rushing yards in a game in school history, and most rushing yards by any player in a game this season. Only 300-yard rusher this year. He has 1,346 rush yards through 10 games, guys. That's remarkable. That's phenomenal. He's had 7 100-yard rushing games this season, and the defense has been good. The defense has been really good. 19.9 points per game on average. Total defense, they're number 1 in the SEC with 277.5 yards per allowed. That is going to be, I think, the big thing. Can you expect Oklahoma to stop that really, really good Missouri rushing attack and force Bo Pribula or Matt Zellers to throw the football down the field? Because if Eli Drinkwitz gets the run game going, it could be a long day, mostly because of what Oklahoma's offense might be. And I think that is really worth pointing out. I think that if Oklahoma cannot sustain drives, it's going to be really difficult for the Sooners to go and get a W, man. It's just going to be hard. It's just going to be hard. It's one of the reasons why I look at some of these things and I ask, are we paying attention to the right things? And I think we are when we talk about the rush defense that Oklahoma has to play with and the rushing offense that Oklahoma has to play with. And frankly, if Missouri can even throw the football down the field, like honestly, right? So on that end, let's talk a little bit about what Oklahoma has and what's going for it. 8-2, as you well know. Win against number 4 Alabama, best win of the season for them so far. 23 might be the best win of the season, period. 23-21 in Tuscaloosa. OU's first top 5 win on the road since 2017. That reminds me, Lincoln Riley has not beaten a top 10 opponent at USC. Just throwing that in there. Seeking his first playoff appearance since 2019. Also, Lincoln Riley. Also, LSU stopped a mud hole in Oklahoma and walked it dry. And they've defeated 2 top 15 opponents this season. Tennessee at number 14, Alabama at number 4. Both of those wins are on the road. And I think that is really remarkable. Now, the last ranked opponent they played at home beat them, Ole Miss. So you can take that. 4-1, though, is a great record to have against ranked opponents. And again, they went out. It'll be another top 25 win, we think, with Missouri, right? We think. And LSU. That's going to get you in the college football playoff. That is a strong 10-win season for an at-large bid. They've been averaging just 23 off 3 points a game. That's not great, but it's not, it's not even as good as Missouri's, right? 24, 25 points per game for them. What worries me is John Mateer since the injury, right? We're talking about a guy who, since he returned from injury, I don't think has been that great. He's basically averaging 202 total yards per game, 4 TDs, 4 picks. Right. Before that, we're looking at 300 yards per game. Right. We're looking at a guy who's in the running for the Heisman Trophy. He's accounted for 4 TDs in the last 5 games, but also Oklahoma's found a rushing attack that, apart from him, with Xavier Robinson and Torrey Blaylock, and that's been much needed. Isaiah Satanga has been the best wide receiver that Oklahoma has. I keep thinking Deion Burks is going to pop. Hasn't yet. And Jarrett Kennick has been the most trustworthy set of hands that anybody has seen so far at Oklahoma this year. What has been Oklahoma's calling card, though, is the defense. The defense has been outstanding. It is the best defense in the SEC. Brent Venables did that. The same Brent Venables a lot of y'all wanted fired. Think about what you said. Now you want to take it back that Oklahoma has given up 14.8 points per game? Probably not, because you hard-headed. But you know what? Hard head makes soft behind. All right? Number 2 total defense in the SEC. 278 yards per game, just behind Missouri on that stat. Some people think total defense is a junk statistic. I don't think it is. I think being able to keep yardage down means you're sustaining longer drives for your offense. That's what I think. I think that the offense is doing you a service. But they have allowed 300 yards passing in each of the last 3 games. Ole Miss, Tennessee, Alabama. Now, each one of those got great quarterbacks, right? Trinidad Chambliss, Joey Aguilar, Ty Simpson. Aside from that, Matt Zellers is not that guy, right? And I don't think Bo Pribula is that guy. He can be that guy, but I don't think he is that guy. But what you're looking at is they've been able to stop the run. So it's going to be strength on strength for Oklahoma. It's going to be that vaunted Missouri rushing attack led by Ahmad Hardy versus Oklahoma's third best in FBS and number one ranked rushing defense, 82.2 yards per game, strength on strength. And let's also add to this, Oklahoma has 37 sacks through 10 games this year. Oklahoma could put together 50 sacks in a season. That's awesome. And remember, R. Mason Thomas didn't play last week. If he's available to play this week, you get another pass rusher back in a week where Kip Lewis said, I got it. Watch me work. Where the Bowen boys said, I got it. Watch me work. If Oklahoma can force Missouri to throw the football, then cancel Christmas. It's over. That's a win. But if Ahmad Hardy and them get loose, could be a long day for Oklahoma. So, no, this is not an easy win by any stretch for Oklahoma. I'm going to pick the Sooners, right? Because I think the defense is good enough to stand up against that rushing attack. And I think the better quarterback is at Oklahoma. And the better quarterback will have more opportunities, or I should say have the opportunities to make plays. We'll see. If Bo Pribula plays, I still think Mateer is the better quarterback, but they're much closer in likeness than Matt Zellers and John Mateer. And I think many of you understand that. I think many of you get that. And I can't, man. I really cannot wait to see what happens with this game. It ought to be fun, but it might be my ruin. I lost my voice yelling at Oklahoma, Alabama. Don't make me do it again, guys. I only got one of these, and I got to use it every day.